We first heard about it at the February Emergency Management Agency meeting. They talked about this thing that they were calling the novel coronavirus. It was kind of in some other places in the world, and they saw that it was something to keep an eye on. And then towards the middle of March, when the world could see that this was going to turn into a pandemic, we decided to shut down the libraries. One of the things we did immediately when we shut down back in March was we extended our Wi-Fi reach to go out into the parking lot, and we also removed the Wi-Fi password so anybody could access the Wi-Fi at any time. And all staff went home, and we were able to work from home until the beginning of May. And then staff came back to the buildings without patrons, and we started to put some safety precautions in place for staff. So staff was just in the building for about 6 weeks until June 15th, when we reopened the buildings to the patrons. During that time, we went fine free. We were forgiving fines for anybody that had overdue materials if they couldn't return them during the time that the library was closed. Anybody who comes into the library needs to wear a mask unless they're under 10 or if they have a medical condition that would preclude them from wearing a mask. We've reduced the seating available to maintain social distancing. We've reduced the number of computers available for the public to use, and we've also reduced the amount of time per day they can spend on the computers. When we had patrons start to come back to the library to give people an option to keep themselves safe, we introduced curbside pickup, and that was by appointment only, where you could place something on hold, and instead of coming into the library, we could bring the item out to you so you could get your items that way. We're quarantining any returned items just to make sure that if the virus is on an item, that it has time to die off before the item is returned to the regular collection. There are some libraries in Georgia that still aren't open yet. We were maybe kind of middle of the pack as far as libraries that have reopened, but just the fact that we're here and that we're providing options, because people still want to read, they still want to check out, and so that's where our curbside came in. The big one that's affecting a lot of people is the access to the internet, where there's the people that have access to the internet and technology and those that don't. And so we try to bridge that divide. Taking the password off of the Wi-Fi was one step towards that. And then we have our mobile library branch. It's called the Library Without Walls, or Library WOW, that starting next week they're going to be going to one of our branches that's been most hard hit in the reduction of computers by using the Library WOW's laptops to provide an open air computer lab for people that need internet access. Obviously we want everybody to use the library, but not everybody who supports the library uses the library. There's other ways of supporting. We do have a foundation that if people wanted to support monetarily, they could go about it that way. We have the Friends of the Library, which is a nonprofit organization that accepts discarded library books or donated library books, and they sell them for the old book sale. That's something that's been postponed because of COVID. But they can reach out to lawmakers and express to them the importance of libraries. They can tell their families and friends. Really just being a vocal advocate is a great way of supporting the library. We're trying our best to still provide service. It may look a little bit different, but we're trying to maintain the same level of service. We're here for the community, and we try to be responsive to community needs, and that if there's anything that our patrons or community members would like to see the library provide, to please let us know, and we try our best to be responsive.